Today what we're going to do is we're going to dive into our next season of the show. We're not a news show, so why do we need to sit at a news desk? So we're going to be out in different cities all across the country exploring what makes this such a great place. We're going to be exploring the lifestyles, having power interviews, and just bringing a lot of great content so that people can really get something of substance from our media. To me, that's really what the American Dream is all about. The American Dream is coming at you with a whole new season and a whole new look. Let's get the show started right now.
We do it in the spirit of going against the grain of the negative media, giving inspiring information, and having people walk away from our show with something of value.
You're seeing a disruption in both the real estate and the mortgage space.
A lot of people are just not willing to put in the work.
What video does is that it demands an emotional response.
You know what I love about this show? It's totally unscripted. So you've heard my passion around the message of the American Dream, but how do you bring it to life? Well, what I did is I found the best producer with a background in real estate and lifestyle, Seth O'Byrne, to bring us the American Dream in a whole new way. Tell us what you're bringing now.
I'm hopefully bringing passion. You know, this is something we're really excited about. In America, the American Dream is not designed by your position in life, your wealth, where you're at currently. American Dream is something that someone can have when they're 8 or 80. It's starting at one point and deciding that you want something better for yourself. And so as much as the American Dream has combated negative media, we're gonna switch gears and now we're gonna talk about positive, inspiring stories. Stories that have compassion and love in them, and stories that have something that I think we can all relate to. And that's the hope for the show, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, we're not a news show, so why sit at a news desk? So we're out here today at a multi-million-dollar pad with a winery on the West Coast. The show is spanning all across the country. Today, you're gonna see a power interview from Grant Cardone. Did this in studio early this week. This guy illustrates the American Dream. 10,000 people at his event in Vegas. This guy's absolutely crushing it. We're also gonna showcase the lifestyle of a winery and a multi-million-dollar pad. And then we're gonna get into some local market elements where we're showing things that are happening in your own backyard. Well, let's get it started. We're gonna go check out that interview with Grant Cardone in studio. Let's go check it out. All right, for today's Power Player interview, there's nobody that better illustrates the American Dream than this guy, Grant Cardone, coming to us out of Miami. Good to see you, Grant. How are you, man?
Always good to see you, my friend. You bring me so much energy in my life. You remind me that a dream has to keep going and growing.
Yeah, well, we're growing to Miami soon, so what makes this show unique is we go city to city, and each city has its own little ecosystem, so we're coming to your town here soon enough, so we're going to be out in the field doing some stuff with you. Excited to launch there.
I can't wait to see you.
So let's talk about that thing called the American Dream. You've had quite the journey yourself. Right to your left there, you can see your new book, Investing in Real Estate. Tell us real quick about your journey for those who are tuning in for the first time.
Yeah, look, I mean, I grew up like probably 99% of the people watching this is like lower middle class family. My dad worked hard. My mom took care of the family, 5 kids. And my dad died at a very young age for me. He was 52, I was 10 years old. And that left a big vacuum in the family. But my dad left me with a lot of things, you know, like the individual can die, but the things he leaves behind stays with the people around him. And he taught me work ethic. He taught me that I could have anything I wanted. He loved real estate. He was actually a stockbroker, but on the weekends he would shop real estate, which was fascinating to me because I'm like, why aren't you shopping? I mean, if you love stocks and that's what you do, why aren't you shopping stocks? But he shopped real estate because I think that that's organically something everybody understands is a good thing. And so for the past 30 years, starting in San Diego, by the way, I started buying real estate. And it's, of my 7 businesses, that's the one that will take care of me and my great-great-great-grandchildren. My great-great-great-grandchildren that have not been born yet, Craig, will probably be wealthy.
Yeah, well, the stockbrokers out there, we got to remind them that there's no stock that you can live in, and there's no stock that you can use other people's money to buy it with, like you can with real estate. So it's a great opportunity. What do you think about the real estate market now? I mean, we're spread across the country. In every city, we align the power players of real estate. We've trademarked that term, the best in every city. What do you think about the real estate market right now?
Well, let me just say this. Bank of America, okay, or Wells Fargo, right? They will lend you money to buy real estate, and they won't lend you money to buy their own stock.
Right.
So that should say it all right there. Go to Bank of America and say, I'd like to buy $1 million worth of Bank of America stock, and I want you to lend me money. And they'll be like, sir, please get up out of the chair, okay?
Yeah.
But we'll lend you money on real estate. So look, if you're trying to make money in real estate over the next 3 weeks or 3 months, or, you know, I think you're looking at it wrong. But the way we invest in it is for long periods of time. We buy multifamily income producing properties. I mean, what we do over here is not, we don't do single family homes because we want income. I want passive flows of income that Warren Buffett talked about. If you don't earn passive flows of income, you'll die trying to earn one income. So we're buying rental properties in markets like Orlando, Tampa, Miami, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, anything in the southwest or southeast. San Diego, I think, is a great market. I just can't come there because you guys got too many other issues.
Real quick, Grant, so tell me about the book that you wrote, How to Create Wealth Investing in Real Estate.
Yeah, this is my 8th book, Craig. This is by the way, this is a self-published book, okay? I have published books, but this is a self-published book with the biggest release by almost 8 times of any book that I've ever brought to market. So we shipped, I think, 38,000 copies in 21 days.
Wow.
And it's not in a bookstore. Those are massive numbers for a book this doesn't have a release. So it's about how people can get involved in the apartment game.
Well, you've done a lot with the entrepreneurial spirit. You're doing events. You do a lot on social media. If anyone visits you online, you have a lot of products you develop. But I know that your wheelhouse is this real estate game, which is a big message of the show. I hope that our audience will reach out to you, get your book, and definitely follow you on Instagram. You are one of my favorite guys to follow just because the energy you bring, you got your own show on there.
Anything could happen on Instagram, that's for sure.
Yeah, your wife throws you head kicks, or actually it was rib kicks, was it?
Yeah. She wants me to get in shape, so she thinks beating me up is the way to do that.
Love it, man. Well, we appreciate your story. Thanks for coming on The American Dream. I hope our audience reaches out for that book, and we'll talk to you again soon, Grant. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Craig.
All right. More of the show coming up next.
So you just saw Grant Cardone, who is the ultimate illustration of the American dream. What makes this show unique is it's a national television show, but we highlight local marketplaces and the experts in those markets to show you what's going on in your own backyard. You've had your fingerprints all over how these things are going to look.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the goal. You know, and local real estate markets are really important because that's why you need a broker. You know, these areas are so unique, both in appreciation, why you buy, the lifestyles that we like to accentuate on the show. And so we'd like to show you one of our favorite realtors right now.
Yeah, it's a national show. What do we know about all the different cities the show's airing in? So let's go check out what's happening in your city.
Welcome back to The American Dream. This time I'm speaking with Terry Sprague. He's the luxury real estate expert with Lugs Christie's International Real Estate. Terry, thanks so much for being on The American Dream as usual.
Carrie, I'm excited to be here.
Well, we are excited to talk about your expertise in the international luxury market. You're known for traveling internationally and putting on these amazing marketing events on your properties, and you've got the $6 million Japanese house in Lake Oswego. How did you make that event special and stand out against the other events you've put on?
Well, amazing home, Japanese architecture. So what we did was we brought in a taiko drumming group, and you can see that in the video. We had a true full-on pop-up sushi restaurant, and then we had top-notch sake bars set up throughout the property with valet parking, and had about 300 people attend, and it was an amazing event.
300 people, that is a huge event. It sounds like it was an amazing success, obviously. And it looks like it was a great time. I have to know, did it help sell the property?
It definitely did. It gave us great local exposure, and I think that gave the house more credibility and really created a buzz. And ultimately, it's led to some great success.
Well, congrats on that sale. I know you guys just closed it, so that is awesome. And I mean, was it an international buyer? I know that's your expertise, but it's always interesting to see where the buyer comes from. Where did that buyer come from?
Well, the good news, particularly on this house, was our target market was China, and it did turn out to be a Chinese buyer. And in fact, the deal just closed yesterday. I know people have been seeing it pending for about 6 months, but that's because it took a while to work out a deal to transfer the funds out of China. And I can say that that was all successful, and my client is happy, and the $6 million transaction is closed as of yesterday.
That is awesome. Now, I know a lot of sellers probably ask you, how are you going to procure that international buyer? Do you accredit it mostly to those events that you do?
Well, I really think that the being with Christie's and having that international exposure and being able to travel directly to Hong Kong and to China. This month I'll be in New York, and working with our international offices and the international brokers that are here locally in Portland and Seattle. It's a combination of doing all the right things in order to find the buyer.
And it really speaks to how hard you work, because being there in person really speaks volumes, I'm sure, to the buyers that you meet. So that's great for your sellers, great for your business. And I know outside of your professional realm, you do a lot of charity events with kids. I know you have something coming up. Can you tell us about the event that you have?
I do. So we're doing at the Portland Air Show. I'm hoping to have over 50 kids from the Boys and Girls Club come and join me for the air show later on this month. And David Lucas is sponsoring an event that will be for adults in the evening, and we'll have the event for the children in the afternoon.
Wow. Well, Terry, I appreciate you coming on The American Dream, sharing what you know about the luxury real estate market, as well as what you do for the kids and charity. You're very well-rounded. We're lucky to have you on the show.
Love coming on. Thank you so much.
Of course. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching The American Dream. We'll be right back with more.
What we just saw was an incredible segment from a local agent professional. But what's cool right now is we're about to kick to a really cool segment in this property.
Yeah, I've hosted so many shoots so far for Lifestyles in the American Dream, but I've never seen a home like this before.
Isn't this the most amazing property you've ever seen?
I loved it, and driving up like the whole entire private driveway and up here is so exclusive.
It's set perfectly in the hillside, the winding roads, and it's like, I think about properties like this back when I first started in real estate, when it was so hard to get the big listings and the big properties with this much acreage. And it's really been a dream for me to not only list this property, but to get so much great feedback from people just viewing the property, because it's amazing. I mean, it's the grounds of this place are like nothing I've ever seen before.
That's what I saw the home. I'm obsessed with the home. I mean, it's this beautiful custom built.
Custom built in 2008, actually.
Oh, wow, that's really new.
Isn't it? It's so new.
Yeah.
The sellers actually built it from the ground up. I mean, so much like blood, sweat, and tears went into this home. It looks like it could be placed right in Tuscany, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
like
perfect
Spanish
with the wine we had earlier.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to tell people that we're having wine this early today?
No. 5 o'clock somewhere all the time, so.
Well, I love it, and I love the outside grounds of this area. Like, I don't even know if I would want to be inside.
When you live at the property, your lifestyle here is exterior. It's all exterior. The inside is an added bonus, but I mean, you've got so many different types of fruit trees on this property. You've got a winery that's just down the hill here and surrounds the property, a creek, a pond. I mean, the endless nights of sunsets that you can watch on this property is ridiculous.
Oh, it's amazing. I can imagine that this is like the perfect property for entertaining guests, family get-togethers, things like, I mean, that's like what I imagine when I picture myself living here.
It's kind of the dream. I mean, I was fortunate enough to be able to spend a lot of time with the sellers on this property and really talk to them about what makes this property so special, aside from the custom build. I mean, the wildlife that they sit and watch. The wife, tends to her garden out back. I mean, with tons and tons of acreage on this property, your options to do multiple things on the actual land is endless. I mean, you really could do anything.
Yeah.
There's an active beehive down there where the bees come and go from the koi pond out front. You've got the pool out back, the vanishing edge with virtually nothing in the distance.
No.
And you can always tell with houses like this, which is why this particular home is so near and dear to my heart, because you can tell the pride in ownership that the sellers have really put into this house with just maintaining and the landscaping that they've put in, and every little nook and cranny of this home and this property was thought of. I mean, they have dogs and they've fenced the entire 9 acres of property in, you know, and it's just the little things that when a buyer comes into this home, they want to know that everything's secure and that their pets are going to be okay.
Yes.
And if they have grandchildren coming to run around, that it's going to all be okay. So everything was really, really thought of. I mean, it's definitely a special property.
Yes.
You know?
Well, and I'm just imagining, you know, the caliber of buyer that's going to buy this property is going to love that they can come and shut themselves off from the hustle and the bustle and the busy life that we all live each day, and have their own private oasis, their own private estate here in the hills of California. It's wonderful.
It's the most peaceful property you could ever imagine. It's like you're coming home and you're coming up to your own resort with nobody around, with the sunset, and you put the music on and you just go pick fruit off your fruit trees to make a margarita by the pool. I mean, it's everything at your fingertips, literally, but you're in the middle of nowhere, which is amazing.
In the middle of nowhere, so convenient because you are still close to town. Still get there somewhat fast, but shut everything off. Enjoy your time with your family.
Yes, and I will say, if you are a drinker, the winery and the vineyard on this property produces over 2,000 pounds of wine, which is about 50 cases per year.
Oh my gosh.
Of award-winning wine. And
do you have any of that award-winning wine here?
We do. I think we should go open a bottle and go back by the pool and have a little sip of wine.
I'm saying it's warm out here. Let's go get some wine. Let's go enjoy the pool.
There's so many people that have dreamed of owning a California winery
Or out with Molly and Mia.
in a winery,
In a winery.
with 3 vineyards and bottles of wine.
Yes, that is kind of your American dream.
It's a very specific American dream, but yeah, it was cool to actually see it, and I think it was great that we got to take people inside.
All right, so coming up next, what you don't know is I've been traveling all across the country, meeting the best realtors in every city to make sure when we talk about your backyard, you're hearing from someone who's actually in the trenches, in the top 1% nationally, but experiencing what you have going on in your city. Next realtor piece.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Hi, it's Drew Coleman, the Drew Coleman team at Haas & Company Realtors. Today we'll be talking to Jenny Pakula, the new CEO of the Oregon Association of Realtors. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Drew.
Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me today.
How's the job so far?
It's fabulous.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's great.
So I guess that leads me to a good question as far as the public perception. What does the realtor organization do, and how does it affect not your members, but every man and woman homeowner on the street in Oregon?
Well, our primary purpose is to protect your business, to make sure you're thriving in the industry, to make sure the industry is thriving, and to protect the clients that you represent. And the way we do that is by having your back over at the Capitol. We have lobbyists that work full-time protecting your interests, making sure they're on top of any legislative issues that could impact your business and private property rights.
So you're really doing a lot of work on behalf of those clients, of your clients who are the realtors.
Correct.
So
our
what
members
type of,
are you, the realtors,
yeah.
and your clients. I mean, it's a trickle down, right? You can't be successful in your business if you can't assist your clients. Right. So.
And if they're not able to buy and sell and transact in personal property, in real property,
right,
then they can't achieve the American dream, essentially.
Exactly.
So what are you guys, what type of issues are you fighting today at our Capitol?
Yeah, well, the big issues that our lobbyists will be facing in the next session is the elimination of mortgage, protecting the elimination of mortgage, or protecting the mortgage interest deduction and making sure it is not eliminated. That is a huge benefit for your clients in home purchases, as you know. That can prevent some people from purchasing a home. Rent control is a big deal, and increasing housing supply. That's probably the biggest one. That's making it easier for the developers to get permits, making more land available, and giving certainty to developers when they do look for land and apply for permits.
That's amazing. I heard in the city of Portland, the average permit and build costs outside of any infrastructure or labor costs was something around $70,000, which is just amazing.
It's not cheap to build a house.
No, not anymore. And that's just, that's not anything tangible. Those are just kind of fees and costs. So that's one thing that I've always been proud of the Realtor organization as a whole, is that really a lot of the advocacy, and it's a big force in Salem. I mean, when you're governmental affairs people, when you talk to legislators, they understand the power of the Realtor organization, do they not?
Yes, we're one of the largest trade associations in the state, if not the largest. So when realtors speak, they listen. They may not always agree with what we have to say, and so you win some, you lose some, but you definitely have a seat at the table thanks to realtors and their investment in the PAC.
So how is that the governmental affairs and the legislative campaigns, how are those funded? I mean, are those funded by realtor dollars or political action dollars?
They are funded by political action dollars, but they come from member investments and corporate investments, and most trade associations have a PAC, and all large industries have a PAC to support their issues, and that's what we do with our PAC. Both here at the state level, on your local level, you have a PAC, and on the national level. So you're protected at every angle.
Yeah. So what would you say to let's say a realtor member who says, hey, I pay my realtor dues every year, and a portion of it goes to my state, to Oregon Association of Realtors. What am I getting back? How would they get more involved, or how would they become more acquainted with where those dollars are going and how they're benefiting them?
Well, the advocacy is one portion of your dues dollars at work. There are other tools that we bring you to help you be successful in your business. Risk management tools is, I mean, you can't be successful if you don't have the tools for you to properly conduct your business, whether it's through the Forms Corporation, whether it's understanding terms in a contract, how to fill out your seller property, or assist your sellers with the property disclosure, being able to interpret the legal docs you guys use every day in your business. And in addition, professional development is critical to your business, right? So we bring you a myriad of education throughout the year so that you not only can satisfy your continuing education credits, but increase your professionalism in the industry.
Right. Which is, I know, always a big focus, is how do we increase professionalism, and your organization's been doing a really good job with that. So what are your goals now that this is a new role for you, although you've been in the Realtor organization and practicing law for a long time? You've got a really vast background, but what are your goals for the organization going forward?
Yeah, well, I've been with the association for almost 15 years, so I've seen a lot of issues come and go. But the one issue that's constant is making sure all of our members, almost all 17,000 of them, at least are aware of the Realtor organization. You're not going to get everyone involved, but I want our members to be aware of where their dues dollars go and see the value in it, even if they don't actually participate on a committee or attend annual conferences or any other OAR meetings.
What have you seen from realtors, asking a little more granular level? What have you seen? I mean, what would you say to someone who said, oh, I don't know about realtors, what do they do? You know, there's some commission pressures and things like that, which obviously nothing is fixed and people can charge whatever they want. But what would you say that you've seen as far as the value of a realtor in your time being invested in the Realtor organization?
Well, it's not just about finding someone a house. I mean, your work really starts after you find them a house, and it's making sure you're armed with all of the tools so that you can help your clients successfully navigate through a transaction all the way to the end. And your customer service following closing is equally as important.
Have you seen the legal pitfalls increasing from a law standpoint? I mean, you answer the legal hotline calls as well as your OAR staff. There's a lot of complexity to transactions.
There is a lot of complexity. Here in Oregon, many disputes are settled through mediation and arbitration. So we don't have a whole lot of case law or litigation that can be used for education purposes here in Oregon.
Which is a good thing.
It is a good thing. Arbitrations are private. They're binding, but they're private. So there's no decisions or precedent that we can use to educate you on, hey, do this in your practice, don't do this in your practice. So we're fortunate that way on the one hand. On the other hand, some of the states that may be a little more litigious, they have a whole lot of case law that they can instruct their members on pitfalls to avoid.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit about your staff. Obviously, there's a lot of realtor organizations between state, local, and the National Association of Realtors across the country and world for that matter. What's your organizational structure right now? How are you guys set up to serve members?
Well, we have a variety of departments. As we mentioned when we first started here, our advocacy is our largest department. So we have a government affairs director, we have an outside contract lobbyist who's always looking out for our interests at the Capitol, and he has a team, political affairs manager, and a variety of admin staff. And then we have a couple outside legal counsels assisting with the hotline and making sure our business tools are updated. So there's always the risk management side. That's a constant work in progress and looking for tools to bring you. And we have our education department, bringing you high-end education, working on a Principal Brokers Academy right now, which is going to be one step above your standard class to get credit. And we have our COM marketing department to help establish and bring all this value to our members to make sure they're aware.
Wow, big team. When people ask me kind of what the value of the Realtor organization is, I always say, you guys are like Augusta National Golf Club, right? The same golfers are playing all over the place, but your job is to make sure that the playing field is gorgeous and perfect and let us, the professionals, play on it. You guys do such a good job of laying that framework and making sure all the people are prepared, everything looks great, and I think you can't take for granted all the work that you guys do. So I appreciate you so much for taking the time to be with us on camera today, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Drew. I love the analogy.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being one of our top members. Thank you.
Thank you to all of you for watching, who hopefully now have a better feel for what a state realtor association does, which will inform your next decision. Until next time, join us on American Dream TV.
So that's close the show. What should we do, man? Should we be like casual or should we be like pumped up?
I think we should be both casual and pumped up.
All right. Well, we just finished a big show. What you learned today is the American Dream is a mindset, not a circumstance. And as far as our show, it's raw, it's real, it's authentic. We're not owned by a network. We're commercial free. We're unscripted. We just brought the best producer in the space to the game.
I think we did great, man. I mean, you know, the American Dream is incredible, and I think it was Thomas Jefferson, or he was kind of...
The preceding program was sponsored by Ignite Now Media with promotional consideration by its affiliated partners.
Introducing S1 Connect by Synergy One Lending, a company committed to making your home buying experience easy and convenient. S1 Connect is the best way to simplifying your home buying experience so that you can get your dream home faster. Whether you're a baby boomer, a millennial, or a luxury home buyer, S1 Connect offers you the opportunity to receive real-time notifications about your home loan so that you're informed every step of the way. Apply for a loan from anywhere. Compare various loan scenarios to help determine which product best fits your needs. Track your home loan progress with real-time notifications. Safely and securely upload loan documents from your mobile device. And have instant access to your loan officer and real estate agent. Basically, we're all about speed, ease, and expertise at Synergy One, so download the S1 Connect app today. To learn more about S1 Connect, visit us at s1lending.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to find out everything we have going on at Synergy One Lending.